When it comes to 9mm, is there any reason to choose this over this? Or even this over this? Let's find out. No freaking way. The first reason I would think of why someone would want a long barrel over a short barrel is accuracy. For some reason, a lot of people seem to think that longer barrels make guns more accurate, which is definitely not the case when it comes to rifles. But being that these are three completely different setups, I think there might be an argument, and we have multiple different ammo types to find out, so let's get a baseline using this 4.3-inch Arken Gen 2 Type B. Man, that's a lot to say. Well, it's not going to be too hard to beat these groups, if you can even call them that. I don't even know where one starts and one begins. This is a PTR9CT-CL. I know it's a mouthful, but basically what that means is that it's an MP5 clone. What I thought was kind of weird is that the description says a 9-inch barrel, but the specs say an 8.86-inch barrel. So I compared it with my 9-inch barrel, and it was even. So how will it stack up against this? It's going to smash it. I mean, that was freaking terrible. Good, yeah, decent, pretty good, and pretty good again. This absolutely gorgeous, splendid with modern take on a PCC is the Henry Homesteader, and I really appreciate Henry for making it possible for testing. What I thought was funny with this one though is on their website they list a 16.37-inch barrel. The manager was like, no, we cannot round to 16.4 inches. Our customers need to know to the 100th of an inch. I mean, I guess you can never have too much information. I just thought it was kind of funny, but anyway, let's see how this 16.37-inch, to be specific, rifle stacks up. Not bad, not terrible, not too bad. That one is pretty freaking good. This one was almost a well, not perfect group, but it was almost a really good group. And this one also was not too bad. Definitely easier to shoot better groups with the PCC and the rifle. Now, the next biggest reason I would think anyone would go with the rifle over a short barrel, other than not having to pay a tax stamp, is for velocity, which also means more power. Usually when you step it up in barrel length, you can expect decent gains in velocity if the cartridge is big enough. Problem is, 9mm is the opposite of big. It is extra small. I mean, like freaking extra small, so there's not much powder to work with. Plus, it primarily uses very fast burning pistol powders, which aren't necessarily the best at maintaining pressure in longer barrels. So let's see what kind of difference we're talking about. I mean, you do gain some, but I would think you would gain a lot more with plus P offerings, and it just so happens that I have 2 plus P offerings right here, so let's test those. Wait, that's not plus P. Okay, I know it doesn't say plus P necessarily, but believe me, that is the hottest service grade load I could find. It's plus P. Not bad, but not as big of a jump as I thought there'd be. Moving on. Wow, the PCC actually beat the rifle. Now, there are certain cases where you would not want extra velocity with the 9mm, and the biggest one I can think of is heavy subsonic ammo. Obviously, when you're wanting to be as quiet as possible, you're not going to want the bullet to break the sound barrier, so let's see if longer barrels add any muzzle velocity to some big heavy subsonic bullets. Yep, definitely all subsonic. Now how about something a little heavier? Surprisingly still all subsonic, and if you want a more comprehensive list of velocities out of long barrel 9mm, make sure to check out TN Outdoors 9 video. Some great information over there, and I used to watch him all the time. So now that we know that there is some power to gain with plus P loadings, actually a pretty decent amount, let's see how they compare on several different targets, starting with the difference on pressure treated lumber, which I've already shot with the pistol, and here's what happened. What happened to the oh, okay, both of them went through. But anyway, let's see how an extra couple hundred feet a second changes things up. Not going to say those are the best shots ever, but we got two pretty decent shots, and oh, those blew right through the log. Holy crap, holy man. Oh, well, it didn't translate to the best penetration on a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, but I mean, they both made it to it. I can't remember off the top of my head what happened with the pistol. Oh, and there is one of the bullets. Really didn't deform at all. I mean, it pushed the nose in a little, but it really did not deform at all. Let's see if 16.37 inches to be specific changes anything up. Wait, what? How'd that information get on the internet? Oh my gosh, guys, never Google yourself if you don't want to know what information is available to the public. As someone who's never on social media and does my best to keep my information off the internet. Okay, so maybe I could do a little better, but I'm very happy to have this video sponsor Aura. Recently there was a breach on the national public data. This compromised over 2.9 billion records that were used for background checks, some of which was critical personal information including names, addresses, phone numbers, dates of birth, and even worst of all, social security numbers. Aura is your all-in-one solution for security and peace of mind. With Data Broker Opt-out, Aura removes your personal information from sites that sell it to scammers. It offers identity theft protection, monitoring millions of different points, including the dark web, and it also offers up to $5 million of identity theft insurance for you and your family. Get real-time fraud alerts and lock your credit file instantly for ultimate security. Backed by certified data security and a 24/7 US-based support, Aura has your back, because your safety should never be compromised. Make sure to click the link in the description or visit aura.com/banana to get a 2-week free trial, which is more than enough time to see if your information is out there. Two pretty consistent shots, although they look a little low. Oh my gosh, they deviated out the bottom. It looks like they just kind of rode the knot or whatever. Let's try that again. Those shots should be better, quite a bit. Well, that one's quite a bit higher. The other one is enough, you know. So anyway, what happened? Both of them blew through as to be expected, and oh my gosh, it looks the exact same as the 9-inch, and that one didn't hit into it very hard at all. I mean, that could be inconsistencies in the wood, but still, you would think an extra, I can't think of the amount of feet a second there was, you would think however much that difference was would be enough to do more than that. Up next, we have sand. To get ideal penetration on the sandbox, it takes an optimal amount of velocity. Too fast and you'll shred everything apart, but too slow and you're not going to get the desired effect. What? Keep in mind that the regular 9mm pistol was not able to make it through this box, but let's see if either of the other two create optimal velocity to get through. We're not going to talk about that shot placement. I don't have time because daylight is running out, but let's turn it around. And we don't have anything on the back. As to be expected, I guess, with the 9mm, but how about with a 16.37 inch rifle? Here's our impact. Again, the daylight is running out, so I don't want to talk about it. And oh my gosh! No, I'm just kidding. This is one of the bullets from before. But anyway, let's turn it around. Turn it around. And we do not even see any deformation on the back. The 9mm is not getting through a 6-inch sandbox. Now let's show our other plus P round some love and see what it could do in some ballistic jail. Good shot placement on the handgun. How does it stack? Oh, I can barely get my pinky in there. Man, let's check out that wound. Oh, it's actually pretty decent for the pistol. Man, that is actually really good. It keeps going, right into the second block there. Let me grab my tape measure real quick. Oh, and I forgot to say, it tapers off probably about halfway through the block, so about 8 inches. Let's measure this out real quick. And the deepest point is right at about 17.5 inches. So I think that is within the FBI guidelines. Not like these are FBI blocks, but I mean, that's pretty good out of a handgun. Let's see how the longer barrels stack up. Another shot placement right in the center of the block. Yeah, it's not any easier to get my pinky in there. I didn't expect it to be, but anyway, I think we're gonna have to check this one out from the side because they kind of overlap here. And, I mean, the wound channels basically look identical. If the handgun doesn't look slightly bigger carrying it further out, but anyway, the PCC seems to do a little more damage way further out. And, okay, so it barely penetrated deeper than the pistol. Let me grab my tape measure on that one. Okay, so the absolute deepest point on that one, let's line it up here, is right at about 18 1/8 inches. I mean, really not that much deeper than the pistol. That's pretty surprising, and the wound channel isn't even that much more significant either. Maybe 16.37 inches will do more damage? I don't know. Okay, so maybe I forgot how low these ones were coming in relative to all the other bullets. So the first one definitely was not the desired effect. Second one, I still forgot that it was coming in low, but I aimed a little higher, and definitely no easier to get the pinky in there, but it looks like it got stopped in the block. Let's check out that wound channel. It'll be the second one from the top, or the second one that I'm pointing at right here. And I mean, it appears to be similar to the other ones. Carries on, and I mean, it tapers off about the same time as the 9-inch barrel. Keeps going. Man, they all ended up in the same spot, and none of them actually lost their tips, which is pretty crazy. Let me grab my tape measure real quick. Oh my gosh, right at 17 5/8 inches. Even with 16.37 inches of barrel length, we're barely outdoing the pistol. And now it's steel time. Other than bullet construction, velocity is the best way to get through mild steel. And if memory serves me correctly, the 9mm out of a pistol at least did not get through an 1/8 inch. Let's verify. Nope, it did not get through an 1/8 inch. So let's see if a 9-inch and a 16.37 inch barrel can get through. What is up with this paint? All right, I think we are ready to go. Walking up, I honestly can't, no freaking way. No freaking way. Something actually made it through. Wow. My pinky's definitely not going anywhere, but something, a very small portion of the bullet it appears to be, actually made it through this plate. Wow. Hopefully that means the whole bullet will make it through with the rifle, but we shall see. Before we do though, I want to give a big thanks to Midway USA. Guys, you already know that they are a longtime supporter of this channel, so I really appreciate them for that. And if you like the testing I do here, I really think you'll like Midway USA. Oh, it's not looking a whole lot better, and dropping down, yeah, it's not looking a whole lot better. I mean, maybe a little bit cleaner circle than the other one. Pinky will tell. Oh my gosh, I can't get it any deeper than the other one, so I don't know if it's worth all that extra barrel length. A wise man once said, it's not about how long it is, it's about how you use it. I don't think he was talking about barrels, but we'll apply the same logic here. And remember, don't let ballistics drive you bananas.